Welcome back. We are live. We are today going to be drafting some basically showdowns. Start by like glossing over the ranks. I barely looked at them, but for my take, I I think Jared Sidnam at 22, it's perfectly fine. I'm gonna probably be a little underweight on Drake May. Um, Not that I don't think he's good. I think Denver defense is awesome. I'll have some. Matt Stafford, fantastic pick if he's stacked. Even if he's not, you can backstack him. Darnold should be fine. We just watched the Caleb Williams do quite a bit against the Rams, and then Stidham versus New England. I I think that they're going to just load up the box and give Stidham a chance to have a big day. So I'm going to be slightly overweight on Stidham. And part of that's going to be like I'm not ever going to take the other like him over the other quarterbacks, even unstacked. But it's going to allow like I'm basically going to push Darnold all the time. I'll probably end up underweight Darnold because I'm going to try to push him an extra round to get Stidham. So like a draft I did a little bit ago, and what seems to happen a lot, what's good game tight is at if you're picking up 4 and you don't take a quarterback on the turn and you take 2 skill position players, you are committing yourself to being forced into a Jared Stidham team, correct? Like because Drake May, Stafford is all are for sure going to go. And then the guy at 3 is going like whichever guy doesn't take him and looking at Darnold versus Stidham, most people are going to play scared. Most people are going to take Sam Darnold there. I think I'm going to push Darnold in that situation because the players who push the quarterbacks and take 2 skill position players are probably like unless Kenneth Walker got by to them, and if I'm at 3, I'm taking Kenneth Walker. Uh, I I personally think that it's better to like not have Darnold there because you don't have JSN, you don't have Kenneth Walker. So that means you have to go with AJ Barner if you're on that turn with two skill position players or the late Shaheed Cup. I mean, there are other things you could do, but most people do the Barner thing. So I think since I'm waiting to do all my drafts at the end, I think a lot of people have already built those teams, and I think I'm going to be able to push in a lot of last round, like next to last round Sam Darnold teams. Yeah, and the fourth spot's not bad for May Stevenson. I've only done a couple of these, and by the way, we're getting ready to join a hurry up. I've only done a couple of them, and we are going to join the hurry up in 10 seconds. And we're going to get the music. That's what we're doing here. It's been a while. Like it's been a while. All right, so we got in on our phone. We expected that to happen. We get the 101. Game tied at the 104. What's up, Fantasy Dog? How we doing? Yeah. Yeah, Stidham is not like the worst guy to be a backup. Uh he also did well in the preseason game. Sean Payton has a really good system. Pat Bryant looks like he's going to play. Like at least he logged a full practice, no symptoms yesterday. So if that happens again today, he'll be cleared. So like, I'm not going to play scared of Stidham. And like, look at Darnold's last game, 7-8-8. I do think that there's a better chance that he has a big game. Darnold, that is. But like his last big game was actually against the Rams, but that was 21 points. Like I can see Stidham being close to Darnold. Please access my Gauntlet Returns team if you get time. You mean on VBMDB? Yeah, we can look at people's teams if they want. If I could spell your name. Why is it telling me you don't have one? You say Gauntlet? Well, I'm spelling it right. I don't know. It's not working for me for some reason. So yeah, I don't know. Gauntlet Returns. Got it. Okay. So we do get Stafford back. We got Puka at the 101, by the way. I don't always take Stafford here, but I think that I will on this team. We'll take the chalk. This is the hurry up. There's a lot less players. Sorry, I didn't switch back over, but we'll do that after. Looks you got a 44% chance to win. That's a nice place to start. If you're just popping in, go ahead and smash the like. And yeah, Dobbins looks like he may end up playing this week. So that's a pretty big deal, right? Like if Dobbins plays, I think that's pretty big. But I mean, New England has allowed a single 50-yard rusher all season, and Harvey hasn't done a whole lot of 50-yard games on top of it. I don't see Dobbins coming back and in the first game doing that. Like, I 100% believe that they're going to have the old make Jarrett Stidham beat us thing. I'm going to be light on RJ Harvey, and I'm going to be heavier on the passing game for the Broncos. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I believe, I can't remember who, like the guy who done it. It was later in the season. It like wasn't an elite player that done it. You know what? We're gonna lock this room out. We're gonna go double tight end. On these short slates, I think it's fine. Who was it? Was it Rico? Was it Rico? I don't know if they played him. It was somebody like that, like a Rico or a Javante or somebody that the community as a whole doesn't love. And like they got pushed down from that. But yeah, I'm going to end up with like a little bit more Marvin Mims than I normally would have. Like I have a hard time getting to Sutton like with what he's been doing lately as well. Yeah, we'll go with Stafford. So our team, we got Puka, we got Stafford, we got Parkinson all stacked up. We have the double bring back in AJ Barner and Shaheed, and then we have Ramondre in the other game. Little Jordan didn't really see the field until Pat Bryant was out. He basically took over that role. I personally am like I will probably take a share, maybe two of him, but if you look at what happened last week specifically, as soon as Pat Bryant went out, that's when Little Jordan started getting targets. Now Pat Bryant could get hurt again. Yeah, exactly. Bayou's on it, and then game tight at the 4-hole. Kenneth Walker, Kyron Williams, Cortland Sutton, Hunter Henry, Marvin Mims, and Jared Stidham with the sun. I love it. How can you not like this guy with the shades? You got the double stack. Yep, I like that team. We'll look at this Gauntlet Returns team for game tight real quick. It was his second concussion this year, but if he as long as he doesn't as long as he clears protocol, he's good, right? So the only player you're missing is Bo Nix. That is fantastic. The rules are the same. It's you need 2 consecutive practices without symptoms. That's the rule. It's no different. It never has been. That's what it always has been. But they have always tended to be a little more after the second one, they I don't know how to describe it. It always seems like they might miss more games. But there have been other players in the regular season that on a second concussion only missed a game. What's up, Chris? And in the playoffs, they definitely tend to let things slide a little bit because they're all about safety. Oh, this team is fantastic. I really like it. It's an absolute shame you don't have Pat Bryant. That's all I'm saying. Absolute shame. If you had Pat Bryant, this team could win all of it. And I actually don't know what the line is right now. Let's does BBMDB not have they don't have the game totals on this, do they? All right, so we're back here. We're going to join another hurry up. I'm going to do hurry ups until it fills. I'm going to join the hurry up in 10 seconds. Yeah, and I agree. I think I'm fairly positive he's going to be good to go. The full practice yesterday, to me, means that he's good to go. Waiting on three. And while that's going on, I'm going to go to DraftKings in another browser and look at the lines for the game. I wish I could select never show any sport but NFL, because I don't care about any other sport. All right, we got the Patriots 4.5 point favorites, over 42. Rams 2.5 point dogs, over is 46. So slightly higher game total in the Rams game. And to be honest, only 4.5 points. I thought the public would have bet that down a lot more by now. That means that the sharps are probably in on Stidham. I don't know what the public betting is, or the Vegas or the sharps. One or the other is keeping that line because it started at it started there at 4.5. It went to 5.5 pretty instantly, and now it's back. To me, that means that smart people are looking at that. You do have Pat and some other. It is sick that Nick's got hurt. I mean, you all know I was rooting for Bo Nix, partially because of Pat Bryant, mostly because of my like I, like. So a couple things. Number one, um, like I'm not taking a ton of Drake May this week. Drake May has what, 5 or he has 4 fumbles in 2 games right now. I know the 2 defenses he's played have been pretty good, right? Like at least I mean, we know the Texans defense is elite, but like the Broncos isn't the Texans, but they're pretty good, right? So I personally like that's kind of where I'm at. Like I think that Drake May is a very, very good player. I think that the Patriots aren't going to push as hard as I think they should. So I kind of think that they're just going to try to run the ball, right? Just try to run. And that is kind of how you beat Denver anyway. So that makes sense. But and yeah, their D has been mediocre lately, but like that's kind of why I'm in on like you get like a Travion or a Ramondre, and then you go to Stidham on the other side. That worked out absolutely perfectly. We'll take him. We'll take one of these two. We'll take Barner or we could take Evan Ingram. And well, yeah, like so. Excuse me, we got to get situated real quick. But Patriots O-line, like Will Campbell, has not been very good in the playoffs for sure. So I kind of and like Nick Bonita is very, very good. The Zach Allen is awesome on the interior. So like they're not going to be able to give him double team help because Zach Allen is an absolute force. So in my mind, the Patriots offense might not be able to move the ball super well unless they're able to run the ball. I think the passing game of the Patriots might struggle a little bit this week. That's kind of where my bets are going to be. I'm gonna keep doing these. I'm gonna max the engage 8. I'll do the single entry. That's gonna be about it. Does AJ Barner play mostly in line again? I don't think he's gonna play in line very much at all this week. Myself, I'm not that worried about the Rams pass rush, honestly. Like they have flashes, but I don't think they're insane. I think they're pretty good. And Arroyo is supposed to be back, right? So in setups that Arroyo is back. So like maybe Barner plays in line slightly more, but that he's still a rookie. Like Barner is still going to be out there almost every play, and I think that the Rams offense is good enough to push them a little bit too. And we know that if we get to the goal line, it's a 1-yard run. AJ Barner's getting that touchdown, right? So like, and between like Hunter Henry is the clear number 1 tight end this week. Like, I think it's as clear as last week, to where I thought that the clear number 1 was Colston Loveland. because like Parkinson, Barner, Ingram, Terrence Ferguson, like you look at ranks for next year for full season, which are out right now on Underdog, like the Hunter Henry is actually behind Parkinson, I think, but I think that that's an absolute mistake. So, and Evan Ingram's like unranked, like he's like tight end 30 or something. AJ Barner is around them as well, but I think at least this week, I personally have Hunter Henry ranked quite a bit ahead. All right, so this team, we went three wide receivers start: JSN, Devontae Adams, Courtland Sutton, Travion Henderson, bring back AJ Barner, and Jarrett Stidham. So we got the double Seattle with the Stidham, with only one pass catcher. And it could make sense because Barner could get that rushing touchdown that we were talking about. We are going back and we are doing another hurry up. We're going to keep doing hurry ups until it is either closed or I have max. And we're joining in 10 seconds. Hey, no problem, Fantasy Dog. Bryant, he's not officially playing yet, but he did practice in full yesterday. And with him practicing in full yesterday, I'm going to guess he's like 95% to play this week. We got the 103. We'll get to talk a little bit about the strategy I was talking about earlier, about how if the guy at 4 doesn't take a quarterback, you basically force them. They have to take Darnold at 12-13, right? But they don't have a piece with him because JSN, like Puka, JSN, and Harvey and Walker are going to be these top 3 picks. Which means that if they take Darnold, they pretty much have to bring up Barner right there. So, in my eyes, like, the difference between the difference between the wide receiver or running back you're going to get there at 11 and what you're going to get at 19 is huge. Because if this guy passes on them, these two guys almost assuredly take a quarterback, right? On their next 2 picks between 2 and 3. And if they don't, that probably means I got Devontae Adams with Stafford all the way back, right? So, and if not, I get Drake May all the way back, that's fine, right? That's perfectly fine. So I think that that's the strategy from the 3-hole is you push, you just push, and you take whatever value you get. Because I don't think the difference between Jarrett Stidham and Sam Darnold in a 1-week sample should be worth giving up that much. So it's not going to happen here. Which, if I take a skill position player here, it means I'm fully giving up on quarterback. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to take Ramondre, setting up the fact that those two take their stacked player, and then hopefully we can get Courtland Sutton back around, and then we can just double stack. We'll just be able to double stack, right? So that guy did the smart thing. He takes Adams, and then he has a quarterback either way. Sets up the guy at the 1-hole to have to choose to take Stafford now or to pass back Stafford for the super stack with JSN, Adams, and Stafford. They're debating right now if they can push Darnold back. If they're listening, I promise you I take Darnold at 14 if you push him. Just so you know, like, if he doesn't take Darnold, I take Hunter Henry. If he takes Darnold, okay, so he takes Hunter Henry. I'm going to go ahead and take Courtland Sutton here. Let this guy get his 2 players, and then I'm going to take Sam Darnold to stack with Kenneth Walker. The guy, he tried to get too greedy. And like, I think that not enough people are probably stacking Kenneth Walker with Sam Darnold, right? And I'm going to stop. I'm not going to take any more Sam Darnold, like any more pieces from that team. So, and I have 3 options at tight end for the bring back as well. Yeah, so that forced him to have to pull up Pat Bryant all the way up as well. But not that that's a really bad thing. And we got Gunnar Ross here at the 104. I'm not sure if they're listening, but if you are, thank you for popping in. So we got Colby for the double stack. I prefer Terrence Ferguson. We seen him get a downfield shot. He got open once again, and Stafford just missed him. I'm fully in for him this week. I mean, do I want Boutte or do I want? Yeah, we want Kayshon Boutte here. And then if Barner comes all the way back around, we just take the value, right? Like, yeah, this is kind of a chalk team, but I don't hate it. We got Walker stacked up with Darnold and Barner. We don't have any Rams. And then we have the other game stacked up. Ramondre, Sutton, Kayshon Boutte. Not my favorite team, but it's all good. This is only like my 5th one of these. I wasn't sure how that would play out. I think it's a solid team though. Like, I project better than all the other teams. I don't have a lot of Stevenson either, so it feels good to get some of him. I think Stevenson or Travion could be one of the better picks this week as well. All right, we are going back. We're doing another hurry up. We're joining in 10 seconds. We're gonna hold the booze because we know it's coming. And they're just it's too many in succession. Is what it is. Just too many in succession. All right, so we got the 104 game tight back at the 102. I may just stream for about an hour today and then hop off. Seems like we got a few of you guys here. I appreciate everybody who did show up for sure. I probably did. I think I advanced 2 of them, but they're dead. I don't care about playoff best ball though. Like let me go to it like in another screen real quick. I think I advanced 2. I did like 16 total, 15, 16 on Underdog is all I done. I don't like the format. I was very vocal about not liking the format. Yeah, I got them up. We'll look at them. I'm pretty sure one of them is a Jordan Love, Bo Nix team. All right, so we're going to go. We're going to go Kyron Stafford here. Or we're just going to go Kyron Ramondre. I got a Little Mitten in and a Mitten Returns team in. No, that sucks. Yeah, I do the countdown. I'm hoping everybody can join. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do Hunter Henry here. And we're going to just pull up Pat Bryant, actually. I ain't scared. We're pulling up Pat Bryant. Yeah, like my teams were all super dead. I bet into the Broncos and the Bears was the two teams I kind of bought into a little bit. The Bears easily could have won that game. They didn't. Feels bad. Like I kind of like I like the Rams to get to the Super Bowl, but I also thought their ADPs were slightly too high overall. I mean, the team who's favored to get to the Super Bowl, it should be high, but they were also a 5 seed and they were like the second favorite team to get to the Super Bowl in the NFC, just by the feel of what the community was saying. So, or at least on the NFC side. And like the Broncos just got no respect. Zero respect. Look at that. They shipped me Sam Darnold all the way back. That's not the worst. So we're going to go with Sam Darnold. Do we want to go naked Sam Darnold? I don't think I can go naked Sam Darnold here with Kupp still on the board. I would have taken Arroyo if I didn't have Hunter Henry there. So we got Sam Darnold, Kyren, Ramondre, Pat Bryant, Cooper Kupp, and Hunter Henry. Game tight from the 2-hole: Walker, Harvey, Sutton, Shaheed, Stidham, Ingram. So they were on to me. They didn't let me have fun, but I mean, I'll take Sam Darnold late. Like, I do think that Darnold should be slightly ranked ahead of Stidham, but I think it's slight, right? I think that either one is fine. Before we jump into that, we will look at my 2 playoff best ball pods. Here's the first one. Bo Nix, Jordan Love. I have Pat Bryant, Cortland Sutton, Travion Henderson, Puka, and Kyren Williams alive. These 2 teams on the end pretty much have full teams available. These 2 teams on the other side are pretty dead. I'm like probably the 3rd favorite to get out of this pod, but it's very unlikely. I'm the only Travion team. I'm also the only Kyren team, but I have to replace Drake May and Matt Stafford at quarterback. I have to replace their points somehow. And Pat Bryant, Sutton, we all have Puka, so that's not going to be a separator at all. So it could happen. It's just very unlikely on that team. And the second team that I have, was that the Mitten Returns? Nope. And then this is the Mitten Returns. That was a little board. You have some pods where nobody has it? Yeah. And this is the other one I have. RIP to this team. Josh Allen, 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 all the way through. I have both Seattle running backs. I have Shaheed. That's it. This team, insanely dead. Absolutely insanely dead. Absolutely no chance. We got Rick Cruiser here with 3 quarterback build who's alive. You got Walker, you got Darnold. I guess you just got Walker and Darnold. Guess you're not really alive. Sorry, guy. Jeremy Jacobs, though. We got Drake May, Puka, Kyron, Hendo, Franklin, Butte. That's a fun squad. All right, back to actual stuff that I care about. Because like I said, I was pretty anti I just don't like, it's such a chaotic format. And every year people say, oh, well, it's so chaotic. Well, generally the quarterbacks that are behind score higher because they're coming back from behind at the end of the games. So they get more fantasy points for free. So a lot of the time the losing quarterback is the one, how many 400 passing yard performances are in losses? A lot of them, right? So in theory, and I done it on that team I just showed you. The single quarterback stuff is probably pretty dumb, to be honest. We're going to join this hurry up though, and we're going to join it in 10 seconds. Tomorrow I'm planning on going through my I've been working on my actual ranks for Big Board now that they've came out. Like the actual ranks came out, like the initial ranks. I've been kind of working on that. Definitely some things I was way different on in my initial thought, like Tucker Kraft. If he's going to be pick 91, I fear for my bags. I fear I'm going to have too much. Tyreek Hill's down at like 140. Like, that is insane. Basically going to have I'm going to go through that. Actually getting together with somebody tonight. We're going to off stream go through all the rankings. Kind of make a list. Did we... Okay, we did get in. All right, so don't see anybody in here. But yeah, tomorrow I might try to, I might send out some messages, see if anybody wants to jump on and actually discuss with me, ranks. I probably won't do a 4 p.m. if I go live tomorrow. It'll probably be a little later. Try to find something I think I'd like to have a discussion group with some people on rankings and what we think and all of that. But I haven't reached out yet, so I just had that thought this morning. Yep, have a great night, game. All right, so we got Darnold. This guy takes Drake May. We're gonna pull up RJ Harvey here. We're gonna go ahead and set this up as a Jared Stidham team, I think. But yeah, tomorrow tonight I'm getting with Hartman and we're gonna work through the rankings a little bit. I've got through about half of the running backs, on just watching initial stuff and kind of looking at some numbers and cross-referencing multiple sources for rankings and what I believe. There's a couple of players that I really like. already. Like, I'm pretty in on a couple of the players. So, and a couple of the rookies. We'll get into that for sure. So we have a double tight end guy here, huh? Well, do we want to do that? Yeah, we'll take Barner here. Barner sets us up for either one. Like, we can take Stidham, we can take Darnold. This guy here, most likely for, like, he has JSN. He should have waited and taken Darnold going back around. Like, he definitely should have done that. But question is, do I take Kayshon Boutte for the bring back, or do I take Pat Bryant because he's my boy? Dobbins is out. Official now. Got it. Thank you, sir. I expected him to be out, but it wasn't official yet. All right. They made that decision for me. We'll take Pat Bryant there, and then we'll take Jarrett Stidham. Pat Bryant, concussion, not listed on injury report for conference championship. And Dobbins is out. So, and Carlton Davis clears concussion protocol. That's also a pretty big deal. All right, so we got Jarrett Stidham triple stacked, Harvey, Sutton, and Pat Bryant. We have AJ Barner and Kenneth Walker. That's a team. We did it. We are going back. We're joining another hurry up, and we're joining in 10 seconds. Yeah, like, Dobbins being out is pretty okay for Harvey, but it's also okay for Jaleel McLaughlin, right? So JSN, like, if we look back, his last huge game was actually against the Rams, just like Darnold. He had 19.6 fantasy points. That was his last big game. But he hasn't really been needed recently. So it's not that he's not awesome. It's that they just haven't needed him because their run game has been so good. I do agree that Kenneth Walker's value is very high this week. But I also think that with Charbonnet being out, like, it's Walker will get more carries, but it could also be true that they also rely more on the passing game. And that's kind of what I think happens. I think that they rely a little bit more on the passing game to get going this week. So there is that. Got to mute my server real quick. All right, so we get JSN. But yeah, I think I'm going to call this stream short here after one or two more of these. Kind of feels like the community as a whole is out doing things. Not that I don't care about the 4 of you watching, but did you see you were tied for last in a draft about 40 points out for FERT? Did you see you were tied for first last week with about I guess I don't get what you're saying. I'm going to go ahead and take Devontae here. And if this guy wants to take Darnold, he can. I'm either going to get Darnold back at pick 17. I missed it. I must have missed that. Okay, so they do the exact thing I was hoping they didn't do. RIP my thoughts. We'll go ahead and just pull Travion up. Yeah, I had a team that was not last week. I was tied for first last week in a draft. Yeah, I guess. Oh, on draft, was that the one on DraftKings? Yeah, if you're talking about the one on DraftKings, I did see that. At halftime of the first game, I was tied for first. What's up, Nick? How we doing? Tonight I'm gonna finalize my ranks, my initial ranks with like limited rookie research. Like there's only one rookie I've looked at so far that I think that they're kind of overvalued on the market compared to where Underdog has their initial ADP. So, oh, well, 2 weeks ago I finished second on a contest. So it was probably that week. Let's do the old double stack here. Yeah, I finished second in the hurry up 2 weeks ago. For a grand. I think it was the hurry up. It was one of the it was one of the ones that first was 2,000 and second was 1,000. I was but yeah, I basically held on. It was the Chicago game, the Chicago Green Bay game. I was very in on Chicago, and then that whole weekend like didn't score very many points. I almost held on the entire weekend. But yeah, tonight I'm getting with Hartman, and we're gonna kind of look through and kind of like talk through rankings a little bit and see what we think. I'm gonna probably ask him. Like, I'm gonna message a couple people tomorrow. I would like to get a panel, like 3 or 4 people on here tomorrow to just discuss what we think. Kind of look forward to the big board drafts. All right, so we need a tight end, and for me at the end here, it's always Terrence Ferguson. I really like Terrence Ferguson. There are some wild ADPs in there. Like I'm a huge believer in Rashee Rice, but I was listening to the Davis Maddock and Hayden Winks podcast a little bit ago, and they don't seem to think anything at all about this new Rashee Rice thing that popped up. Like, they didn't even mention, like, well, hopefully he can stay off the commissioner's list or whatever. But, like, hasn't he already kind of screwed that up for this year? He's already been in the news for something. I haven't seen officially if it's covered up, then, like, I'll move him up in my ranks. But they have him at 18. Like, I agree. If we knew for a fact that he was going to start week 1 and not miss any time, I think that that's a fair ranking, even with Mahomes possibly not being ready to start the season. because, all the money is won at the end. But you still have to factor that in as well. All right, so we're joining another hurry up, and we're joining in 10 seconds. So, yeah, there are some wild ADPs. There's some wild players that don't have ADPs, like some rookies that don't have some ADPs. There are a couple. There's a couple veterans that I completely disagreed with, their ranking. I will probably end up with 0 Jerry Jeudy, 0 Josh Downs. Deebo Samuel seemed too low to me. Tyreek seemed way too low to me. A player that I didn't want to put too high, and I didn't think the community would have they would have him rated this high to start with. And that's Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker, I was really hoping to be able to scoop some value on him before everybody got really, really hip to him. But they have him rated high enough that I think it's the actual fair value. I was kind of hoping to be 15, 17% before everyone kind of really caught on there. That's not going to happen. But yeah, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. We got Puka at the 101. We got Rob Smack back in here. Monangai 87. It's hard to argue it. We happily took David Montgomery at 72 last year, right? He would have paid it off the year before with Ben Johnson. The year without Ben Johnson, only one running back gets there. DeAndre Swift's not Jahmyr Gibbs. I had him a little lower than that, but he's also a guy that I feel pretty okay, just saying I want my 8%, no matter what the ADP was, assuming it's not way, way high. I think it's slightly high, but I don't think that's a situation I really want to avoid. I don't want to be overweight that because he is a 7th round pick and there are a bunch of free agents out there. A Rico Dowdle could get signed by them. Do I think that happens? No. But could it happen? Absolutely. We could absolutely see a Rico Dowdle or an Algier go there and completely nuke Monangai, right? So I'm curious why this guy took Drake May at number 2. He's built I like it. He's doing that to get the Harvey plus Diggs with May because Harvey and Diggs usually don't make it back. I like that. This is a very smart build. I like Monangai too, but NFL front offices don't value the 7th round pick. If they get value out of him for 1 year, they don't always move off of those players, but they're more likely to move off of those players. Yeah, I like the way the guy runs. He's been a lot better than I expected him to be. But the fact is that the GMs just look at draft capital well, we got something out of a 7th round pick, something very useful. But that's also something we can upgrade. So I don't want to be underweight because I like him as a player. I think that the Bears like him as a player. Their offensive line is really good. They're not going to move down in offense next year. Even if DJ Moore gets traded, their offense could still be just as explosive. This is fantastic. I was really hoping to get him. So we're going to take him. And everybody else have 2 running backs? Okay, he doesn't have 2 running backs. Do I want Corum? I don't really want Corum on this team. So we're going to do something different. We're going to pull Pat Bryant up because I'm a sucker. I'm going to take a player I haven't taken yet, and a player that I have kind of been holding back because I don't want everyone to know. But we're gonna reveal the secret right now on this draft. We're gonna reveal the secret sauce for this week is coming. Some of you may know who it is. Some of you may not. It has to be a running back, right? But there is a player I really like for this week specifically. And especially with the double stack. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about this. That's why I pulled my boy Pat Bryant up. All right, so I'm going to get him. We're taking George Holani. So Holani coming back. He's looked okay whenever he's played. In a game where Stafford, Adams, and Puka are cooking, Barner plus Holani makes some sense. So I could take Corum here and just completely triple down on the Rams. But I think that George Holani is a player that should probably be drafted more. He is in now. He is back, and he is definitely playing. So and I think he's going to be very underdrafted for sure. Oh, I didn't realize. I mean, I go live 4 p.m. almost every day, no matter what. So no offense to them, but I was wondering why nobody was here. That makes sense. It's all good. But yeah, we're going to do another one of those. I like that team. I didn't read it off. It was Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams got the triple. We got the A.J. Barner and George Holani bringing back. And then what tops off a really good draft? My boy, Pat Bryant. All right. We're joining in 10 seconds. Yeah, because all of last year I went live 4 p.m., right? And whenever the season started, Fanspeak started doing their live show, because that's when Meg and Steve were able to do their things together. I assume there was a Meg and Steve show. That just seems to be the time that they were able to do it. And not hating at all, just saying that I had a time I had set up. I'm keeping my time. I don't. Yeah, who do you Arroyo? What about Arroyo, sir? Did he get listed as out now or something? I mean, because last I seen he is in. Or are you in the poll? Let's look at the poll real quick. Best late pick in conference draft: Pat Bryant, Holani, Terrence Ferguson, Blake Corum. And he could it could be Arroyo, for sure. All right, we got Puka. This guy's doing the same thing. He's taking Drake May up there. So maybe that's not going to be as unique as they thought it was going to be, taking Drake May early. I can't fathom not taking Puka or JSN. Taking Drake May over Kenneth Walker, I guess I understand. But giving up on Puka or JSN to me it is wild. Like that to me is pretty wild. Like we started the stream discussing, it's not like the Broncos defense is bad. The one thing that if they are bad, it's against the run, right? Which, I mean, I guess Drake May could run a little bit. But yeah. It's just bad because May goes back to the 2-3 turn. Well, I seen somebody a little bit ago do something from the 2 spot. They took Drake May, Harvey, and Diggs. Like, that's going to be unique. So if this guy takes like Harvey Diggs, it's still bad because you're missing a first-round pick. But you are getting a unique pairing. So we're going to take Ramondre here. And then we're going to take I've done 100 plus drafts. 138. Man, you really do like this slate. My last draft, I just got the Puka, Adams, Stafford, and Travion went the pick right before me. So like I ended up doing a George Halani team there. I think Halani's a fine pick this week, but we'll see. I don't want like an absolute bag of him, but if I could end at like 8% Halani, I think I'm going to be pretty happy about that. Like 5 to 8, I think would be a pretty good range to have. I'm going to have a lot of 3 wide receiver builds. I'm going to have a couple 2 tight end builds. This may end up being a 2 tight end build. If Barner makes it back to me, like I think I may go Barner than Parkinson. I've not taken Parkinson, I don't think yet. But like he's been really good. What do you think about Trash Rams wide receiver? I haven't taken any yet, but I'm on my 11th one. Like Mumpfield, if I was doing 150, I'd have like 3%, probably 2 or 3% on those guys. Yeah, we'll take Barner here. And if Parkinson comes back, we take Parkinson. If he doesn't, I'm not sure what I do. Because Corum doesn't get receiving, right? Like, I don't really, like, I like Corum a bit. I've not taken him much. I do like him a little bit. Against Seattle, I don't like him as much. I like like last week I was all in on Corum over Kyren, and that was completely wrong. But I do think in this matchup, like, I think that Kyren profiles better because he has a better ability out of the backfield. Yeah, that's why I said, like, I think 3%, 2 to 3% probably. Oh wow, you're maxing everything, huh? It must be nice to win an NBA contest, sir. Must be nice to win an NBA contest. Congratulations, by the way. I'm gonna have too much Pat Bryant is what the moral of the story is. I'm gonna go down with the ship if it's not Pat Bryant. I'm okay with it. My problem with the tertiary Rams receiver is that I feel like that's just a spot to go like if you went 2 running back early, I get it, right? I totally get it. You know, we'll do Mims on this one. But I think that on this, like, just taking a second tight end, like a second Rams tight end over Mumfield makes sense. Like, if you have Hunter Henry and you're looking between like a third wide receiver, like a George Holani or whatever, or a second tight end from the Rams, like a Higbee or a Ferguson, I think taking the Higbee or Ferguson makes sense in a lot of situations. So this team, we got Stafford stacked up with Puka and Colby Parkinson. We have the AJ Barner bring back. We have Ramondre Solo running back, and we have Marvin Mims. We're joining another hurry up, and we're joining in 10 seconds. Yeah, I think like he doesn't brag that much, but he kind of said it in passing. I think it was like 6K, something like that. Like a really nice day. All right. So we are I like the 3 spot this week. I really do. So we might be able to get all these in. And I might basically have done all these on stream. We will see. We got Docket here. Doc is at the 102. I got the 103. And like, so the 103, never brag, only complain. Words of wisdom from Peppertoni. So in the drafts where the 4 hole doesn't take a quarterback, I love the 103. If they do take a quarterback, it's still fine because I think there's a gigantic tier break at Kenneth Walker. Like, that's one reason I like George Holani, because I think there is a big tier break at Kenneth Walker. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that Seattle is going to be able to run the ball against the Bears. So that's where I'm at here. I'm not taking any, like hardly any Drake May. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. Like, so like this is what I've been talking about. Right here, this guy is co-signed to not have an elite, right? So I can basically dictate what he does. And this is exactly what I started off saying. I'm like, I think you push and you just continue to push Darnold. Like at 11 here, you take you don't take a quarterback. You push Darnold. If this guy wants to, like, because this player will have to either bring up like a Shaheed or a Cooper Kupp or AJ Barner, or they get co-signed into Jared Stidham, which they probably don't want, right? So, I think you put it on them. So, and then if they don't want him, you get Darnold all the way at 19, right? And it looks like that they're probably going to push because I'm building out Denver right now. But if they don't take him, I don't mind stacking Kenneth Walker with him. Because if it comes down here, and especially if they think that they're in the clear. I think. So we don't get him. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take AJ Barner here. And like, we could just take whatever wide receiver we want and be fine with either quarterback, right? Right. And I kind of like Seattle's run game is awesome. And this guy cannot take two wide receivers now. So you take Sam Darnold here. And this is one of those situations where taking like a Mumfield would make some sense. But I don't know. What should I do? I think I just take Shaheed here, right? Like you just take Shaheed. And you got Shaheed, Darnold, Barner with Kenneth Walker, RJ Harvey, and Sutton. We're just in two teams. But you basically force the 4-hole. Like if the 4-hole doesn't take a quarterback, like you have all the leverage because you either get Stidham in the last round or you get Sam Darnold at pick 19 if you want him. I kind of I think Darnold's slightly, like I think they're the same tier. I think Darnold's slightly ahead. But anyway, we're joining another hurry up and we're joining in 10 seconds. And like taking Harvey plus Sutton, to me, like this guy assumed he was going to be able to get Sam Darnold because I done that, right? So I set up the deep fake on top of it. And Doc here has Drake May, Jackson Dart, Steph Diggs, Travion Henderson, Blake Corum, Evan Ingram. This is a very fun team too. You got the Drake May double with the Ingram bring back, a piece from every team. That feels fun. Car park at the 101. We got the 102. Yeah, we're pretty happy the hurry up's available this week. That's all I'm going to say. I'm pretty happy that the hurry up is here, giving me something to draft. I do think that the big board comes out on Monday. Deposit Kingdom in the lobby now. I don't know if it's been in there all day, but Deposit Kingdom is in the lobby. We will take JSN. And I think this is going to be my last draft today. I thank everybody for popping in. But I may try to do a longer stream tomorrow. It'll be more about big board stuff. I'm going to send out some messages tonight, see if we can't get some people together and do a panel discussion. Sounds fun to me. So, how we doing, Jamie? All right, the guy instantly takes Drake May and then puts his life on hold because he's like, what did I do? What have I done? All right, I am fairly positive I don't get RJ Harvey back. That's fine. If I don't, I will definitely take Travion. We're going to pull Travion up. That sets me up like, so same thing here. I'm setting the 3-hole up to be able to take Darnold at 14. If he wants to take Darnold at 14, great. But if not, I get him at 18. So I think that getting this piece, the Travion piece, is more important. I think he's the last of the really good running back clicks. And I think it's perfectly fair to pair Kenneth Walker with Sam Darnold. So if they want to, that's great. But if not, that's even better, right? So they don't. They end up taking him. So we're going to go ahead and take AJ Barner here, and then we're going to take Sam Darnold. This is a really fun-looking team, though. Sam Darnold, Travion, JSN, Devontae Adams, AJ Barner. This is a team where taking somebody like Jaleel McLaughlin could make some sense. Because this is reasonably chalk, but I don't think everybody's been pushing Darnold. Like, I think this is definitely duped, right? This is definitely duped to some degree. So do I want to just continue with the chalk here and take Blake Corum? I think I do. I think I'm fine splitting if that's what happens. Faraway question, but do you think Stafford returns next year? I personally think that if he wins the Super Bowl, he retires. I think he definitely comes back if they don't win a Super Bowl, though. All right, yeah, we're gonna. Do we want to take Jaleel here, or do we want Mims? Pat Bryant is gone. We could go Helani again. We'll take our one Jaleel. Wow, I did not know that. I'd missed that. Thank you for that information. I might need to move Adams down to my rank a spot or two then. I wondered why Adams was down the board a little bit. So like if Stafford wins MVP this year and then wins the Super Bowl, like what better time would there be to retire? And like, yeah, I agree. He could clout chase. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to start the off season like optimistic he doesn't retire, and if he does retire, I'm just going to be very sad. But like I guessed wrong on the Kelsey thing last year. I thought Kelsey was going to retire last year. Apparently, like with Kansas City hiring Eric Bieniemy back and telling Nagy to GTFO, which is thank God. Like Travis Kelce and Bieniemy were friends, so I could definitely see him coming back again. Don't worry, Josh Allen will leave the Bills for McVay. No. Well, for me, what I hope happens, I hope Phillip Rivers gets the job in Buffalo. Like, number one, for comedy. Number two, because I like Phillip Rivers. But number three, because, like, Phillip Rivers was never this style of quarterback at all that Josh Allen is. I would be interested to see what Phillip Rivers would do with a guy like Josh Allen. But, like, Phillip Rivers out of nowhere getting a head coaching candidate, interview is pretty weird. So, but I like Phillip Rivers as a person, so I wouldn't hate to see it. And that's a pretty good landing spot if that were to happen. I know that he was coaching like high-level high school or whatever, but that's something different. But anyway, I'll be back on tomorrow. Not sure what time. I'm going to send out some messages. I'm going to try to get a couple people together, do like a panel discussion for big board stuff. And if nobody joins, I'll do it myself with the chat. But I'll see everybody tomorrow. Probably not at 4. I'll probably do it like more like 5 p.m. tomorrow. Maybe 6. It'll depend on, might even be earlier in the afternoon, depending on when other people are able to join. I'll see everybody later. I'm about to go watch a bunch of rookies. Peace.